I flipped the word with no regret, and that's all profit.
Done did it again on the hater, man. I don't think they were ready for this one.
They gave y'all the blueprint, man. Just get up and go get your bag. That's how you gotta do it. All hustle, no love. You gotta work for this one.
All right, what's up, traders? It's your boy Ace Boogie coming to you live and direct. Today we're going to be talking about CEI. CEI was a recent runner and a recent crasher, and today was the first Green Day bounce. So I talk about the first Green Day bounce a bunch of times, mainly on runners that run multiple days with big volume, and CEI just did that. You see it really had the breakout over 188, which I called in, the chat room, days ago, several days ago. And it basically ran, 5 days after that day. And it topped off at about $5 and sold back off. So now after selling off for, 4 or 5 hard days, it's time for a first green day. These stocks don't go straight up and straight down. There's periods of, peaks and valleys. So this first green day was pretty predictable, and this happens all the time with all these pumps and any other stock that runs multiple days with high volume that's running on hype or manipulation. So as you can see from the notes, um, I had a 126 entry and a 165 exit, so I had a pretty decent meter to move right here, about 30% return overall. So I'm trading small just because I'm really refining my fundamentals before I size up. So me basically putting $300 into this stock, I returned $114. So that's definitely decent returns. Just add zeros to that when you size up. It had plenty of volume. You could have put $1 million into the stock, and still been liquid enough to get in and out without ease. So liquidity is not an issue, and you can definitely size up doing exactly what I did here and make 1100 or even 11,000 on the same price movement. So getting into the nuts and bolts of things, here's the 5 minute chart. So CEI, it was gapping up this morning. It gapped up and it was up, 10-12% from the previous evening after hour session, and it actually put in a pre-market high at 127. So this 127 area did not get breached all of pre-market, um, all up until the market open. So after the market open, you know, anything that popped over 127 is, a buy. You know, pre-market breakouts work very well on stocks that are due for green days and stocks that have momentum and stocks that already have been trading up, as a big percentage gainer in the morning. So it broke out over 127 right here, kind of turtle peeked its head up through and came back down. And when the market opened, it had a definite breakout all the way up to this 134 area. So once I saw that 134 breakout and pull back and made a low at 120, I was looking at that 120 area, in particular for the stock to start forming higher lows off of that area. And when I saw that, I got long right at 126. So I waited for that $0.25 level to firm up. And after it firmed up, I got back in, or I got in, risking basically the low of this candle, which was 120. So 120, if it broke down under 120, I was cutting it for a loss, a 6 cent loss. But I knew the reward would outweigh the risk I had in this trade. So as you can see, I got in, the higher lows played out, and it spiked up all the way up to the 140s. So, automatically when I'm trading the stock, I'm already thinking playing the $0.25 levels. So the the whole dollar level, the dollar area, the 125 area, the 150 area, the 175, and of course the $2 area. So I go from quarter to quarter, looking to make trades, in between each of those levels as they hold support, firm out, and break out. So I knew eventually once it broke out over 141, it would, at least try to get to 150. Um, So as you can see, it held higher lows. So this is something that you need to be looking at in retrospect. Go back and look at your charts, or just go back and look at charts in general. It doesn't even have to be stocks that you trade. Go back and just figure and just look at the structure of the chart pattern. You can see the clear trend, moving upward right here with the higher lows. So I was looking for these higher lows real time, and as they held and broke up to higher levels, I became more convicted in my trade that it will work out to the point where I was even able to walk away and come back at a later time, in profits. So, boom. Another way you could have traded this is, I got in on it real early on the intraday low, higher low. But the easiest way and the most, straightforward way to trade is to buy the breakout. The big move happened after the higher day breakout over this 141 area. So wait for that 141 area to wait for the stock to grind up to that 141 area. And as it breaks out, buy that. And as you can see, it has, pretty clear breakout structure. So it broke out and went up a little bit and came down and it tested that breakout area by basically sitting on it and continuing back upward. So textbook breakout structure with CEI right here at this higher day area around 11 o'clock. So as it broke out and broke past 150, my goals were pretty much satisfied. I thought the stock can go from, at least test 150 or break out through. So I gave it a few minutes after the breakout over 150 to see how far it will go before it hits some ultimate resistance, some resistance that can, cause it to pull back. And I sold into that strength. And I was right here in the 165 area. It pushed, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes. It was spiking for the most part. It was choppy, of course, because it's a bigger or it has a bigger market cap because of the float, but it definitely was still spiking consecutively if you look at the candles. So once I saw that spiking start to lose momentum, I went ahead into the profits. And like I said, I banked about 30% on that with minimum effort, minimum stress. And that's very important because whenever you're trading and this minimum stress, it keeps your psychology intact and you're able to trade logically without getting your emotions flustered. Of course, I left some on the table. I always leave some on the table. That's a part of the strategy. About 13% all the way up to the highs at 188. And I was really cautious about the pullback. I didn't want to wait for this pullback because I didn't know if this pullback was going to do this and continue, or I didn't know if this pullback was going to be this pullback and fall back down from here and just consolidate in this area and fade off. So I played it safe, took the easy profits, the predictable move off that second leg, and called it a day. As you can see, CEI topped out there, and it's been basically consolidating, after hours, all the way into after hours. So I meant to look at this. This likely may gap up tomorrow above this 190 area. But I'll be watching this 188, 190 area, and of course the $2 area pretty closely. As you can see, it's still holding kind of a trend. The trend is still going up and it's still holding higher lows. So this is a definite potential candidate for continued momentum tomorrow. We'll see how that does. So overall, CEI, pure chart play. Once again, it had news today, but it wasn't good news. It was more, penny stock lawsuit news, which is pretty common, and I kind of ignore it honestly. But just playing the price action and the chart pattern. And I call this pattern a first green day after a multi-day sell-off. So it's a few different types of first green days, and if you really want to get all of the ones that I define, check out the link in the description, and you can check out the course which outlines my strategy and the basis on trading penny stocks. With that being said, I'm out of here. Yeah, have a great day. Ace Boogie 2488 out. G5 Trades. Peace.
Move smooth and focus on goals. I'm going hard for my family. Yeah, I gotta get the band for my foes. I'm glad and I'm bold. Black is a new light. So much cash it don't fold. That's exactly what I like. I wake up feeling so blessed. My cake up is no stress. Make sure you get them checks. That's the blueprint.